Now that you've taken your panorama pictures, you're going to be putting them together using an automatic function within Photoshop. To begin with, make sure that your pictures are just in one folder. So here's the folder that I have my panoramic pictures in, all in one spot. Then within Photoshop, you're going to go up to the File menu tab, go down to Automate, Photo Merge. From there, make sure that Auto is selected. You've got Blend Images Together selected. Then you'll click the Browse, find where your pictures are. Then you can either click the first one, hold Shift, click the next one, all the way down to the bottom, or if you've got room, you can actually highlight, just like that, all the pictures that you want included in your panorama. Click OK. They should show up right here. Then click OK again. Photoshop is going to blend the images together and create a layer for each image as you go here. It may take a little while depending on the number of pictures you're trying to combine. I'll restart this video once it's done. Now that that's done, you can see that Photoshop has combined the images. It actually has warped some of the images to make them fit a little bit better together. So we still have a few things that we'll need to do to make this work really well and be able to actually turn it in. The first thing I want you to do is select all the layers like this, then right-click on the text area and go to Merge Layers. What this does is it starts to reduce the file size for your pictures. Next up, you're going to use the Crop tool with Unconstrained to crop off parts of the picture that don't fit. The idea is to try to get rid of the checkered patterned area of the photograph. So pull your crop tool in until you're able to avoid having any of that show up. You can hold Control on your keyboard to fine-tune your crop adjustment, then hit the check mark. Next up, this picture is still going to be huge. So what we need to do is to go up to the Image box on the top here, go down to Image Size. You'll most likely have yours be much larger than mine because you're combining more pictures together. Change the width so that it's around 100 to 125. So I'll just go to 100. What this is going to do is reduce the file size so the pixel dimensions will get much smaller and make it more usable for us. Click OK. After that, you'll still notice that there's a very high resolution when you zoom in. Last but not least, if you think that there's some areas of the picture that are too dark or too light, you can adjust that using levels. So I think I could brighten the trees a little bit here using levels. So I'm going to adjust with levels to make it so I can see the trees better. Then you'll remember that we have a layer mask here that we could paint black in the areas that we don't want to change. So I'm going to paint black back on these areas here on the layer mask so that way my sky still looks the way that I want and the water looks the way that I'd want. After I like how it looks, do one fine close-up look around the edges of the frame to see if you do have any spots where the image is going off. You can also Control T to transform your picture and warp it to drag the image off the edge a little bit. So if you did have any other areas that the picture was just off a little bit and you could see some of the checkered pattern, you could just warp the image a little bit to make it fit. Then you're ready to File, Save As, change this to a JPEG, put it somewhere where you'll know where it will be, and you can turn it in.